Hi there, welcome back to Look a Book. I'm Dan, this is Walter, and today we're going to take a look at a new book that I've never read before, that my wife Jenny just purchased for us. She's really excited about it and recommended that I share it with all of you. So, without further ado, let's take a look at Kiyoshi's Walk by Mark Karlins and illustrated by Nicole Wong. Anything else you want to say before we get started? All right. Kiyoshi watched his grandfather, the wise poet Ito, write a poem with brush and ink. The brush flicked across the page. Flick, flick, flick. The dripping faucet takes me back to my home. Raindrops on Frog Pond. The words made Kiyoshi smile. He wished he could make poems too. Where do poems come from? He asked. What a wonderful question. What do you think? Where do poems come from? Where do beautiful words, beautiful thoughts, beautiful ideas, where do they come from? Ito put his brush and ink away. Let's go for a walk, he said. He tucked a pen and paper in his pocket and took Kiyoshi's hand. They walked by the store on the corner. The sun shone out from behind a cloud. Oh, look. They found a cat a little bit like our cat, Remy. That's a black cat. Ito stopped and wrote, Hill of orange suns, cat leaps, oranges tumble. The cat licks his paw. Kiyoshi felt puzzled. Does that mean poems come from seeing things? They kept walking. Kiyoshi noticed a flower growing out of the crack in the sidewalk. A girl whooshed by on roller skates. At a sound, Kiyoshi and Ito looked up. What do you think they saw in the sky? What do you see flying in the sky in this picture? Ito wrote, The sky calls to us. Pigeons, the whir of feathers. Our arms could be wings. What do you think, Walter? Can our arms be wings? Should we try it out? Yeah, you can hold on to those. Let's see if we can take off. Ready? Do you think if we flap our arms fast enough, we'll be able to fly like a bird? There's only one way to find out. You can try it with us if you want. Ready? 3, 2, 1, fly! Faster, Walter! Faster! I think it worked a little bit. I think we got like at least this high off the couch. Let's try one more time, see if we can get it even higher. Ready? Oh, wait, countdown first, of course. 3, 2, 1, fly! It's working! We're hopping! Are you taking off too? This is amazing! Wow! Alright, enough of that. Let's keep reading. Oh, said Kiyoshi. You find poems by listening. They passed by an old house with a tall wall around it. They peeked through a crack, but could see only a stuffed bear on the ground. Ito took out his pen and wrote, translate for you because Walter's speech isn't very clear yet. He wrote, "His boy moved away, lying by the empty house, a lonely bear waits." "Yes," said Kiyoshi, "poems come from your imagination. Poems come from your imagination." Finally, Kiyoshi and Ito reached the river. Ito sat under a tree while Kiyoshi fed crackers to some ducks. He felt a damp breeze as the sun drifted lower. Two children reeled in their kites and left the park. Kiyoshi felt a little lonely. He told his grandfather. Ito wrote one more poem, his hand a shadow in the fading light. Dark sky, clouded moon. Back at home, his mother's voice. A tired boy dreams. "I know something else," Kiyoshi said. "Our feelings also make poems." Our feelings also make poems. The wind sighed through the leaves. A boat full of people floated past, its lights glowing on the water. Ito touched Kiyoshi's hand. "Now do you understand where poems come from?" he asked. Kiyoshi thought for a few seconds. "They come from here," he said, and he opened his arms wide to take in the river and the sky and the distant buildings. "And they come from here," he said, and he pointed to his own heart. "Yes," said Ito, "and they come from the way the two come together." And he brought his hands close, touching one to the other. "So poems come from the big wide world, and they come from your heart. They come from the way those two come together." They sat for a moment in silence. "May I write a poem?" Kiyoshi asked. Ito nodded. Kiyoshi took a deep breath and wrote, "In the cool spring night, the wind's dance makes me shiver. Your voice keeps me warm." Ito read his grandson's poem, and he smiled. What a beautiful smile he has. Kiyoshi slipped his hand into his grandfather's. Under the streetlight, they began their long walk home. And in everything, there was a poem. The faces of the people, the sound of the river, the moon breaking from the clouds. And that's the end of our story. Beautiful book. Jenny was right. This is a good one. I just want to share this author's note from the back page. If we look with a poet's eye, everything becomes poetry. What a beautiful idea. How would you like to create a haiku poem of your own right now? All you have to do is use your eyes and your ears and your heart to bring together the big world around you with what you have going on inside right now in this very moment. So, first, why don't we use our ears, all right? So go ahead and close your eyes and turn up the volume on your ears just a little bit. Click, 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 click. Okay, that should do. Go ahead and spend 30 seconds just listening really carefully to what's happening around you right now. hear Walter making silly baby sounds. Maybe I could include that in my haiku. I'm going to keep listening. I hear cars driving by on the street outside my house. What do you hear? Okay, next, let's use our eyes to gather a little bit of information about this present moment happening right now. Take a look around you. What do you see? I see the wind blowing very strongly through the newly budding trees. Spring is in the air, and I can see it. And the wind is blowing it around, everywhere around me. Maybe I can use the wind in my haiku. Now, go ahead and take a moment to feel your heart. You can even put your hand on your chest to remind you to stay focused on how you feel inside. And it might help again to close your eyes. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Take 30 seconds to close your eyes, feel your heartbeat, and think about your feelings and how you feel inside. I'm noticing that hearing Walter's little baby sounds makes my heart feel happy. I feel calm and content and happy. And a little bit silly. What do you feel inside? How do you feel right now in this very moment? Let's see if we can put everything together. We want to think about what we heard with our ears, think about what we saw with our eyes, and think about what we felt in our hearts. So for me, my haiku is going to include hearing baby sounds, seeing the wind blow through the budding trees out my window, and feeling happy and peaceful in my heart. So I'm going to try to make something up off the top of my head. Remember, a haiku doesn't actually need to have 5 syllables and 7 syllables and 5 syllables. That's just one way to write a haiku that you may already know about. What's important for a haiku is that we just keep it simple and stay really close to this moment. Stay really focused on this moment. So, without further...
My baby drools, cooing along with spring winds. One good book follows another here on our grass-green couch.
That's my poem for this moment. What does your poem for your moment sound like? If you enjoyed that little activity, I recommend that you stick with this whole poetry thing and take a cue from Kiyoshi and his grandfather and try taking a poetry walk. Take a look at the world around you. Smell the smells of the world, hear the sounds of the world, the sky, the ground, the chatter of people and dogs walking by. And listen, of course, to what's going on inside you and your heart, too. And put it all together into a simple poem. And if you like, share it with the people you love. Thanks for joining me today. Enjoy writing your poems.